Hunter S. Thompson is known for the new journalism he helped pioneer with books like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and Hell's Angels, but he originally planned to change the world with a novel. He began the novel, called The Rum Diary, in 1959 as a 22-year-old journalist. Now, 40 years later, it has been resurrected. It is a story of a group of hard-drinking, hard-living reporters living in San Juan, something that he knows a little bit about. I'm pleased to have him back at this table, my friend, Dr. Thompson. Welcome back, and I think it is entirely appropriate, sir.
Indeed.
Great to see you.
Yeah, that's fun.
That you bring me, in the grand tradition, something from...
The Lilies of Paradise.
Where did you steal this?
I didn't steal it. No.
You didn't steal it.
I'm past
You borrowed it.
Yeah, no, these were a present.
I'm honored. I don't want to take.
Yeah.
I don't want to take
This
light
is from
of
my
the
bouquet.
receiving of it,
I have
but
a
I
bouquet
also
of
want to
these.
catch the humor of where it might have come from.
This time I didn't steal them from a market on the side of the street.
Yeah, these are great. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah?
you want to just
Do what?
You want to fondle these things, you know? It's a birds of paradise.
Yes, it indeed.
We need a little more of a
Yes, we
spray
do.
back there.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the thought behind it that makes a real difference.
Yeah, well, I
So
kept the other parts. I have a gigantic spray at the hotel.
I'm going to put those right
Yeah.
there so I can take them home
All right,
and
great.
put them in a place of honor.
Yeah.
All right,
it's a
so
great
let's
pleasure to have
let's make use of this time. You started this 55?
No, more like 59.
59. Okay.
Yeah.
So some might ask.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Why 40 years?
Oh, well, I was a novelist then, you know. I went, I was on the road, like you can do at age 22. You
Yeah.
bounce. And I went to San Juan to do the normal jobs, like we have done, all of us, on the soldier circuit. That's what we're talking about. A job in San Juan, and I was writing a book. And Bill Kennedy, the
great Bill Kennedy.
Yeah, now the eminent novelist, was then the managing editor of the San Juan Star.
Right.
He was a journalist. I was a novelist. And
Look what happened.
Yeah, he refused to hire me. He called me a swine.
Called you a swine?
Yeah. Fool. Yeah. Beatnik. And we go way back. But Kennedy helped me. It was a good time. It was one of those, when there's a kind of confluence of talents and people. It's not often that you try to get a job on a junk newspaper and find Kennedy struggling along as a managing editor. You're like, ye gods, with these drunken Swedes, we can't get any police reporters. It was a real thing. And I just started writing it then, and I gave it up.
Did you give it up because he told you ought to publish it after you die, posthumously?
I gave it up because it bounced about 7 times.
Because what?
It bounced about 7
it
times.
bounced.
I got the the standard list of rejection slips.
Yeah, right.
And I came back from South America, and I got into the politics of the 60s and 70s. It was a full-time job. And I became the journalist, and Kennedy became the novelist. This is a very eerie kind of shift.
But you very much wanted to be a novelist at that time. I mean, that was the drive.
Yeah. I thought to me, a writer was a novelist. I brought something over here for the Joseph Conrad thing. Yeah, the influence.
What Joseph Conrad thing?
Oh, help! No one is helping me.
All right, well, we can't do that now.
All right.
So you it's taken so long to do it because.
Well, I wrote.
I know you've had other things to do. I know. And you've been writing all those letters that you were keeping all of those copies of.
I did that before. Yeah, Doug Brinkley's job. He sorts the letters out.
Yeah.
I have to live with that. But I've been talking about this. It's on all these, books by Hunter S. Thompson.
Right.
Everybody's saying, well, I can't seem to find the Rum Diary.
Yeah.
Where is the Rum Diary? And I thought, well, we have a little time with this. It's kind of a romantic notion, that and money. And I was faced with the fact of having to dig out my 40-year-old, story. Can't change it. and confronting it like, ye gods, this is me, this is the world I lived in. So I approached it as a writer. It's a good story.
What's the story?
I knew you'd ask.
What?
It's a story of what I call a vagrant journalist.
Yes.
And they're still all over the world. Wherever they're English language newspapers, people who travel from the Bangkok Post. There's always an English language newspaper in some.
Right.
There's one in Kazakhstan now. There's a Margaritaville in Kazakhstan.
Well, speaking of Margaritaville, here's what Buffett says.
Oh, yeah.
The Rum Diary shows a side of human nature that is ugly and wrong. But it is a world that Hunter Thompson knows in the nerves of his neck. This is a brilliant tribal study and a bone in the throat of all decent people. That from the kid from Margaritaville.
Yeah. Well, I think Buffett knows that world.
All right, but let me just stay with, yeah, he does. Let me stay with, here's what we've been talking about, William Kennedy, the Pulitzer Prize-winning author of Ironweed. The tools Hunter Thompson would use in the years ahead: bizarre, wit, mockery without end, redundant excess, supreme self-confidence, the narrative of the wounded meritorious ego, and the idiopathic anger of the righteous outlaw.
Idiopathic. Man, I had to look that up.
I would too. Yeah. Idiopathic. We're all there in his precocious imagination in San Juan. There too were the beginnings of his future as a masterful American prose stylist. I said that way so it could just ring in your ears.
Yeah.
Masterful American prose stylist.
Yeah. I bow to that. That's
See, you really do. I mean, and deep inside of you, I mean, for those of us who, it is this sense of how much the word, despite everything, what is most meaningful to you is prose stylist, is the written word.
I like the music. I'm a music freak. I go totally by rhythms. And I mentioned Conrad, the influences that I was under at the time, which is very hard for a 22-year-old. With here, try a line from the preface to the Nigger of the Narcissus. Have you ever read that booker?
No.
Oh man, it maybe it's a final statement on the writing of prose in America and the world.
What's the title?
It's just the preface to The Nigger of the Narcissus, Conrad's great story.
Right.
And he says, any work that aspires to the condition of art must carry its justification in every line. Holy
wow.
Art is long,
justification.
Art is long and life is short, and success is very far off. I tried to justify that at the age of 22, when you think, hot damn, man, I can bounce. Yeah. I had hard teachers. And Kennedy, of course, was merciless. Yeah. But Conrad is the most merciless of all teachers. Conrad gives no ground.
That sets a high bar.
Really, about the highest bar.
Yeah.
And I'm always reminded when you really get into it of how, where the bars are and who the champions are.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to Conrad yet. He's a very solemn man. He didn't laugh much.
Yeah.
But this was a great writer.
Who are the champions for you as novelist in America?
America. Well, when I was growing up, at age I'm not sure how I drifted into this, but I got into the influence of, I lived here in New York. I went to Columbia and took classes at the New School. I fell under bad influences, but it was it was Garcia Lorca, Fitzgerald, Hemingway, of course, Faulkner.